How would you say, like on that point, how have you managed to deal with failure or like getting rejected all these times?
Um, oh man, it's hard to go back now because now it's hard to kind of remember what it was like during the application process. Now that
Yeah,
I'm
now you've
happy
come
with
out.
the outcome, yeah, it was hard. Like I didn't find myself stopping. Again, the skill from uni, just never give up attitude. I didn't
Mm.
find myself stopping. However, I did find myself just kind of s- slacking. Like I missed a couple of deadlines here and there. Like I remember Capital One deadline came or something, and London Stock Exchange deadline came, and I just missed it. And that was me. Like I was running out of gas. I think I think that was just me running out of gas. And I think you have to try and because if the percentage, if there's like a 5% of apps you apply for are gonna want you, that regardless of if that percentage stays the same, the more apps you apply for, the more people are likely to say yes for you. So you just
Yeah,
have to do as many as you can, I think, and as many as your heart and your brain can take. And don't let the rejections get to your heart because more like once you get a job, you're the minority when you get the job. You're not the minority when you get rejected. Everyone's getting rejected. Everyone's getting
mm,
rejected, and you have to remember that. Um, yeah, and that's why it's not something you should take as an insult or like as a I'm not good enough. It should be something you take as like, all right, that was 99 out of 100 times that is going to happen. Like that's the most likely outcome. You know, it's not it's not that you're not good enough. It's that everyone's getting rejected.
yeah.
I think, but yeah, that's that. I think that's the hardest bit because obviously when you're in it, it's hard to it's hard to tell yourself that. But
Mm.
sometimes you just got to take a step back from the situation and just look at it from the outside. Everyone's getting rejected. Talk to your friends if they're getting, they'll probably tell you the same. They're probably putting in bear work as well.
True.
Because I don't,
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't
very
know
good
many
mindset.
people. Yeah, because I know one person who got Deloitte, but he had an internship with them and he got offered a job from the internship. But the people I know who went through the application process, minimum 20, 30 apps. Like that's minimum. You're gonna like you can't let it get to you because that is part of the process. You know,
Mm.
you're not gonna get your first one. You're not gonna get your second one. I'd be well done if you did, but it's unlikely for the majority of us.
Yeah, yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. For me, like, I wouldn't disagree per se, but I'm the type of person where I only want to work for like three companies. So even if I get a job at Tesco, I'm not taking it. But
Okay.
what that meant for me is that when I applied for, like the Googles, the Teslas, the places that I'm really interested in, taking
Yes.
that L
Yes.
was like the worst thing ever. It's like, this is all I want and I can't even get it. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. I suppose that is different because your focus is directed on one target. I suppose. But
Mm,
then again, like there's also it's never the end of the road. Like if that is the case, then there's always other ways you can get there. It might not be the first stop, it's not the first stop, but you can work your way up other ways, and then you can
mm,
get there. You can work your way up somewhere else and then apply there, and maybe you'll be a bit luckier. But it's again, don't be disheartened by it because if that's the dream, then the dream lives on. Like you still got to reach it, but it's still alive. It's not dream's not dead just because you didn't get it first time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because just because you haven't got the skills this time, you'll get them eventually.
exactly,
It's interesting
exactly.
because when you see, I was going to say social media, but it's more or less just LinkedIn, where
Oh
people
yeah.
always brag about, oh, I applied for here and I got it, yay. And to me, I find it inspirational at times. Just like it's nice to see your friends winning, but
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
there's definitely uh, a conversation to be had, I think, about this whole hustle culture and working all the time, not taking breaks, because yeah, I think it's mad how. Cause to be fair, I do it as well. Sometimes I'm always like work, work, work. I don't want to go out because I want to work, and then
Yeah.
eventually you burn out. And I feel like you've had a similar thing going through uni. Like you just
Yes.
run out of gas, right? You mentioned it as well with apps.
Yes. 100%.
Like how have you managed that in terms of learning when to stop or when to chill?
You just get like I think you have to break it up as much as you can. Like, just set yourself a goal for the day or a goal for the week. Because when you set yourself like, okay, it's September, I need to land a job, okay, and then there's no like time frame on that, and then it's been 6 months, and this is probably what I did wrong and why it kind of like got a bit demotivating. And it's been 6 months, and I was like, okay, I didn't achieve my goal of getting a job. What am I doing? This is mad. This is long. But what I probably should have done is been like, okay, let me bang, do 10 good applications like this in these 2 weeks, like banging applications, and that's how I probably should have broken it up for it to not affect me as much. But yeah, you just gotta like set yourself goals and time frames to achieve them in, rather than just like at uni I was just like, okay, I just gotta get a degree, rather than okay, I've got to revise this much this week. I've got to revise. I've got to know how to do up to tutorial 4 by Friday. You just got to break it up, because then you're not disheartened when you don't achieve it. So you break it up, more achievable goals rather than one big broad goal. Yeah.
I've learned that. I used to be the type of guy that I have a to-do list, but I'd always just put down each task. So like one task might be like have a shower, which is like, okay, 5 minutes done. And then the next task would be like get a job. It's like, oh my God.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's nuts, man. Yeah, exactly.
Like learning to break tasks up. So it's like send out application, do test, do this. And I think you touched on it a bit as well with time management. Like you probably heard it a billion times, but like, SMART goals.
Yeah.
Those specific, measurable, I always forget what A means, realistic and time bound.
Mm-hmm.
Learning that and act like, because I always knew that you hear about a lot in school and it's like green hat thinking and all this nonsense, but when you actually apply it,
It
I think
works.
yeah, literally, like people don't just keep saying it because they want to, like it actually is important to, to break
100%.
things up and to measure it.
But then again, yeah, like you said, when you mentioned the hustle culture, like it's good, but everyone needs a break, and you need to be mature about this. You need to be healthy, and that your mental health and your stuff comes first, because there's no hustle if your mental health isn't gonna survive through it. You're not gonna be able to hustle by the end of this. You're gonna blow out. You're gonna get gassed, and the wrong type of gassed. You need to take your breaks, because think about it like gym. Like, I don't know, like when you're in a set, when you're doing a set, you go as ham as you can. Your fibers rip, I suppose, and then it needs a rest. And then you do the next set, and then you bang it hard again. And you need to rest again, and then that's the most efficient way of doing it. And that's why I wanted to have the gap year, to just kind of rest and have a break. That's why you have to make sure you enjoy your summers after your final exams. You have to try and not think about it. Enjoy your weekends. If you manage to organize your week well enough, you will have time to enjoy your weekends. And those breaks are just as important as the actual work itself, because that's what's going to keep you going for a long period of time.
That's very true.
Mm.
I think in uni it's easy to fall into that trap, because like in school you kind of go in and you go home. At work you go in and you go home. But when you're living away from home for uni, it's like you're in Bristol from 2016 till 2019, and that whole time you're technically supposed to be working. Like definitely when you mention having weekends, that's something that I didn't really appreciate until this year even, where it's like, let me just go ham 9 till 5 at uni, and then after that, it's Jordan time. And yeah, that's a very real point, man, because once you start to confuse your work-life balance and you just start to work too much, or you don't really take that time out, like burning out is the worst, because you stay down for so long. It takes so long to come out of that slump of like just banging Warzone all the time.
Yeah, 100%. It's true. Yeah. Damn, it's true. But yeah, like I think that happened with me as well. In second year, I just worked, and I didn't speak to anyone. Like the second year that I flopped, basically the first one. I worked, first of all, I'd like to say work with people, because this one, I worked as hard for both set of exams, except in third year I worked with people, and the results were much better in third year. So, 3 brains are always better than 1. When it comes to a point where you know all the content and all you have to do is make sure it sticks in your head for the exam, then you can work on your own. But when you're learning it and going through all the content, work with other people because, you know, when you bounce off of each other, when you might misunderstand something, someone will be there to correct you. You can correct someone else. When you teach it to someone else, you're also reiterating it in your brain. Work with other people because that is more efficient and it genuinely does help a lot more. And yeah, so what I did at the beginning is that I would just sit in my room, not talk to anyone. I stopped going gym. I wasn't eating correctly or timely. So I just had no sort of structure to my day. I just wake up, brush my teeth, shower, you know, maybe have some cereal and just work in my room and then go to bed, maybe have dinner and then go to bed, start again. You need to, and then by third year, I was still seeing my housemates. I was still seeing my friends. I was still having lunch with my friends. I was still going to the gym. But when I worked, it was like, you know, I wasn't on Facebook, wasn't on YouTube. When I worked, I worked. But because I had enough things, you know, keeping me sane and giving me the right healthy breaks, I didn't need to go on Facebook or YouTube while I worked. I worked hard when I worked, but I had enough breaks during the day, you know, lunch break, dinner break, gym. Yeah, and it just keeps you going. It's proven, you know, you don't gas out doing that.